welcome to Lido Fine Art, and today's video is going to be a how-to format comics. So if you are interested in, creating webcomics, or you want to create your own manga, or your own, comic for a newspaper, I'm going to show you how to format it. Now, there are several ways you can do this, and several different programs you can do this, and I'm going to show you formatting in 3 different programs. So the first one I'm going to show you is formatting it in Krita. The second one will be Clip Studio Paint, and the third one will be Painter or Corel Painter, however, whatever you call it. So let's get started. Now, I will say this. The first thing you want to do is decide what kind of comic you want, right? So if you're looking to do a webcomic, and that's the comic I typically do, the formatting is going to be different. So first, let me show you the different options that Krita has to offer. So Krita, when you create a new document, it's going to come up with this screen here. And if you want, comic templates, you can, click comic templates. Now, I'm going to run through these 4 real quick. So you have the European BD template, the US style comics template, the manga template, and the Waffle Grid template. So the first one, European BD template. There we go. So this is what it looks like. This, this one is usually found in magazines, newspapers, Archie comics, if you, like Archie or Garfield or whatever. This is kind of the format it is in. It has, almost perfect squares, and it's great for those types of things. All right, we're going to close that. We're going to go into the next one. File, new. Okay. The next one is US style comics, which is very similar to the European one. It's just that, less boxes and they're bigger. And again, newspapers, magazines, stuff like that. That's, when I do webcomics, I do not use these. I could use this style. However, the thing about webcomics is when you're reading them starting from the top and you're going down. Whereas comics like this, depending, where you're from or, what style, I guess, like manga versus a typical, maybe a US or European style cartoon, depending on which one it is, depends on which way you read it, so left to right or right to left. Manga, you typically read, if you're in the United States or Europe, I believe it's like reading a book backwards almost. It is confusing, I will tell you that, when you first start. So yeah, this would not be great for manga. This is great more for the American style, and you're, reading left to right or right to left, I think. Yeah. So close that. The next one is the manga one. If you read manga, this, you're used to this. The squares are not perfectly the same size. They vary in size and shape. A lot of time, they're not squares. Sometimes they're like weird polygons or triangles or whatever. Well, that didn't quite work, did it? Because I'm in the wrong layer. Oh, hold up. Alright, let's try this again. We're on black. So yeah, sometimes they have weird friggin' shapes. And I don't know why it's not letting me go in there. Whatever. You'll see what I'm trying to do. Let's close. I don't typically use any of those formats whatsoever. And I'll show you the last one for, you know, shits and giggles, Waffle Grid. It's pretty much like the European and US style, but way more. And these are good for like sketches and stuff. Like you just want to get an idea of what you want your comic to look like. I, again, don't use any of those. Because I use, well, to be honest, I don't use any preset templates. I like to do my own thing. Now, whoop, I kind of jumped ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that without explaining it. And sorry about the dog barking in the background. She's mouthy and, you know, doesn't like to listen. But anyway, so when I do my webcomics, you have to keep in mind that you're reading starting up and you're going to be scrolling down when you read. So if you use Webtoon, and it, you know, there's different sites, so different sizes. So depending on what site you use, might be, you know, different from what I'm going to use. I use Webtoon. Webtoon, to download one file or one block, you can only do in sections of 800 by 1280 pixels. That's, you know, the biggest it'll let you upload in one shot. However, if you were to draw your comics and do all that, and you did it by block like that, it's going to take you a hell of a long time to get anywhere. So what I like to do is I will stick with my 800 pixels, and then my height, I will make it super duper long. Depending on your comic and how you want your flow will depend on, you know, how long you want it. For this video, I'm just going to make it 5,000 pixels. For your resolution, I do not recommend going under 300. And two, let's say, you know, in the future, you might want to get it published. It's good to have it higher, because if you know, have to stretch out an image, it's going to be super blurry if it's lower than 300. So what I tend to do is stick to the 600 range, and, you know, that'll be, you know, big enough to put it on a book, or even like 8.5 by 11 book. Books typically are not that big, but like a comic or a manga, they're kind of little. So like 600 PPI or DPI is perfect for that, and you get a nice crisp, clear image there. So yeah, I would stick to that. 300 or higher, basically. So yeah, I'm going to do that, and I have it 5,000 because I want to be able to do a bunch of panels in one shot, because it'll help you get done faster. So I'm going to create, and there's my panel. Okay, we have it set to black. I'll make a bunch of layers here. So your most top layer should be your panel layer. And I'll just write it for this video, and it's easier to find and not confuse yourself. So yeah, first one, you want panel. You don't want anything to obstruct your lines, and you want to be able to see them clearly. So here we go. What I tend to do, and I use pretty much two tools for this, and that is the square and the polygon looking one. Yeah, so your square, you just draw a square and it puts your lines in. Now I'm on the eraser, so that's not going to help me. Alright, so let's zoom in a little bit. And you kind of want your line thick enough, you know, so you can distinguish it. I don't know why my thingy isn't showing up. There it is. Okay, It was the program and not me. So let's zoom in a bit. So let's make the there we go. So you can make your squares. Obviously, I don't make them this dark. It's a little too chunky for me, but I'm just showing this to you in that size anyway, so it's easier to see. But I will typically do it as a 5. Whatever, good enough. You don't want it super chunky, but you don't want it super, skinny either. So yeah, 5 pixels is good. So yeah, depending on how you want your story to flow could decide how your boxes are. Like if you're getting to a super dramatic moment, maybe you want to go like this and draw his face real big in the area. I don't know. It's up to you. And it kind of makes it less boring as well when you have different shapes. Whoops, missed. There we go. You know what I mean? Instead of the standard box every single time. You know what I mean? Kind of can get boring if you just see the same freaking box over and over again. But yeah, that's how I do my panels. I don't really use the templates, especially for webcomics. I always do it myself. And again, you want it to be the first top layer. And again, I'll show you why. So let's say you're drawing something. Oh, I'm in the wrong layer. So you want the layer below it. You're not obstructing this line here. It's easy to see that it's separating, each panel. Again, I'm not used to using this program because I've been using Clip Studio. But yeah, whatever. You can do what you want here, or maybe you do want it to go on top, right? You want it to look super dramatic or whatever. Okay, that was a bad example. And you just want to shade it, and it pops out, and it looks, cool that way. I mean, you can do that too, but I tend to have my panels as the first most top layer. Now, speech balloons, and this was requested by somebody, so hopefully I can answer that question for you. You can do it one of a few ways. You can do it like I just did the panels. You can use your tools, that's really thick, and have your little speech bubbles or squares, however you want it. You can do that, and then draw, but then you'd have to erase. Whoop. Just get rid of that line. That's the way I do it. I don't know. I would prefer my own style than, using a templated one. And if you have a comic and you have a bunch of different people and, it gets confusing on who's talking and whatnot, because sometimes, let's be honest, it does. So what I do when I have that issue is each person will get their own colored bubble. Okay? So let's say my main character has blue. Wow. Okay, again. And make sure to put your speech bubbles on a different layer than your panel and a different layer from the rest of everything. It should be its own layer. And then I would color it. And again, each character for me has their own bubble color, and I make sure to keep it, you know, light. You want it to be noticeable but not obnoxious. You want to be able to read the text. And a good example of who uses this style, and I'll look that up real quick because I forget. Unordinary, if you're on Webtoon, that artist does that and uses that style. I'm having a brain fart of what her name is. Or her name. Sorry. Unordinary. Uruchen. Okay, yeah. Unordinary. They use that style with the different colored bubbles, so you know who's talking at any given point in time. And I like that style too. And then another way you can draw your speech bubbles is you can freehand them. I mean, it all depends on your style. I like, again, using the circle tool because it looks neater opposed to this. But again, and I'll keep saying this over and over again, depends on you and your style and, you know, what you want it to look like. Now, some programs have speech bubble templates built into them, like I know Clip Studio does. I don't know if Krita does. Let's see. We'll do this together. Image properties. I don't think they do. And if they do, I don't know how they do it. Tools. Sometimes I'm not seeing it. What is this? Oh, that's not what I wanted. Yeah, I don't think Krita has their own templates for that. Which, you know. But yeah, so that's how you do the formatting in Krita. And one cool thing, again, and I know I made a video of this months and months ago, to where, you know, let's say, you know, you have everything drawn out, you got your line art done, right? And you want to color. Well, Krita has this friggin' awesome tool that colors for you. Oh wait, I'm in the wrong setting again. So when I use that, I will replicate the line art panel, duplicate, because sometimes you have like spots and stuff on your lines if you don't do it. So always double the panel, or not panel, the layer that you're going to be, that is your line art. So let's see. And again, I haven't used this program in months, so bear with me here. I swear to God, though, it would have been over here. I guess not. Oh my God, it's been so long. I'm gonna have to go back and watch my friggin' video because I already forgot how to do it. Oh, it's over here somewhere. Is it this one? I think it's that. Okay, that's exactly what it is. Sorry it took so long. Like I said, it's been a long time. So when your lines get like fuzzy like that, you're doing it right. So you'll get your color, and you don't even have to color the entire thing. Otherwise, what would be the purpose? Do this one and this one. Go here. Purple. Fuchsia, whatever. All right. So once you do that, you want to hit this thing that looks like a, I don't know what the heck, a circle, but to the right, like a refresh kind of deal. You're going to do that. It's going to load. Depending on how big your file is, will determine how long it takes to load. Alright, there. I already colored it in. Colored in each box. And I forgot to pick color for up here. And then you would hit this pencil looking thing. And boom! They colored in. Looks pretty neat, not gonna lie. So that is how you do, basic templates on Krita. So I'm going to close this, and I'm not going to save it. Alright, next one. We will use Clip Studio Paint. Now I'm already working on a project over here. We'll close that. Okay. So we're going to do a new. And here, it also gives you different templates. You can do the comic templates, and you can build your panels and stuff. And you also have the option over here where it says show all comic settings, and you can go in here and play with the different sizing. But again, I don't use any of that. I will again make my own panels as I go. Let's go back into pixels, and 800 for width because that's what Webtoon uses, and we'll say 5,000 length. Okay, and then you hit OK. And very similarly, you can, again, use those tools. Where the heck? Okay. So you can do it like with the box or the circle. Whoa, hello. Your polygon. Whatever you want. You can do it like that. Or they have a built-in template, and you can do your own like that if you want. And then you would just have to, make sure with the layer order and all that. Yeah, and it looks like this on here. So, and it won't let you draw on any of the other things. That's one thing that is cool about Clip Studio Paint. I do like it a lot for that reason. And you can adjust, all of that stuff. So I never had to adjust it because I usually make sure that it's right first. There we go. And then you want to go to like this cube looking thing to adjust the size and stuff. Get your timeline, your layer. Now this one, if you didn't like, using the square tool or the circle tool to make your own speech bubbles, well, Clip Studio has speech bubbles already. And if you go under Manga material, they have bubbles that you can import, drag and drop pretty much, or like inner thought systems. I don't know. Like, let's say this person's like, oh my god, into their, they're thinking to themselves, this bubble here is very handy, and you don't even have to try to draw it. They already have it formatted for you. There's other bubbles. They have a bunch of stuff. And again, I love this program for this. Even the little Japanese, like, writing and stuff. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. I have to download it and do it. So we're just gonna, but pretty much you drag and drop it. And look, they have a bunch of different shapes that you can just throw in on here. I can't do it because I didn't download it. I'm not going to download it. Boop boop boop. Psh. Yeah. So yeah, they have a bunch of stuff. And so when you have Clip Studio Paint, I think they give you different versions of them, of the program. Now I'm going to go on the website real quick on my phone. Clip Studio Paint. So they have a Pro, I think, and then an X. I paid for the X just because I also wanted the animation part of it. So if you do the cheaper version, it's $50, or you can pay monthly, 99 cents a month, from US 99 per month, but that's like their usage plans. Or you can pay $219 one time and you get all the other stuff. And you guys, it is one payment. You're not going to be paying per month like Photoshop. Like they have plans, where the total cumulative is like $219, or you can do it in monthly plans that add up to $219. And once you get to that, you don't have to keep paying. You just do it one time, or in that payment plan. Which I like a lot. Photoshop, I mean, granted, it is a very popular program that almost everybody uses. However, I ain't got I don't even know how much it costs a month. I forget. But it's ongoing, reoccurring. It's not just one payment. You have to keep doing it every month, and if you don't pay every month, you can't use most of the features. So what the hell's the point? Like, screw that. I'd rather only have to pay once and then be done with it. And if you're not sure what you want, you can always try their free trial. Now, I'm not quite sure how long that lasts. I forget. Let's see. I'm gonna click it. I don't know if it's a week or a month. I don't remember. Yeah, I'm not gonna mess with it on my phone. Okay. It'll tell you. But, yeah. Clip Studio Paint. I used to be Corel Painter obsessed, and I thought it was the best thing in the whole world because, you know, like Clip Studio Paint, you only have to do one payment. You don't have to keep doing it. But where they get you with Corel Painter is when they update and bring in new brushes. The newer brushes require the newer version of, you know, the program. So let's say I want to use some of their 2020 brushes that they had come out in that year, right? Well, if I'm using the 2015 version, it's not going to let me use those brushes unless I download either the 2019 or the 2020. And each time you have to download a new version of it, it is hella expensive. So let me give you an example. Let's say I'm going to download Corel Painter. Painter 2020. Holy shit. Okay. I'm already looking at the 2021. I have 2019. I don't have 2020. If I just want the upgrade, the downloaded upgrade, that's $229 for one upgrade. Okay? And that's just to use the newer brushes. Like, honestly, that is a ripoff. Okay? 'Tis a ripoff. Now, if you're not using it for the brushes, you probably won't have to worry about upgrading it every other year. Because I will say the 2019 works with the 2020, but like it might not work with 2021. But yeah, I will go more into that when I show you the Corel Painter. But yeah, Clip Studio Paint, one payment, and when it needs updated, you just update it. You don't have to pay again. Now, I will say this, they offer a lot of free brushes, but they also offer a lot of brushes you have to pay for. And a lot of materials that are free and that you have to pay for. So I have the X one, and I believe the Pro one has the Manga material as well. And it's all that's free. And look, they have the different frames you can just throw in there. Whoops. Yeah. You can just use, and even the little, you know, emotion mark thingies. I don't know what the heck they're called. Heart thump. Like, look at this. You can add that in there. I don't know Japanese, like, and if you want to go for that Japanese feel with the manga, and I know I'm saying it wrong, it's manga, whatever, sorry. I mean, this program is amazing for that. And they have all the different templates. But because I have it in long, like a setup as a web comic, it's not gonna, work. But if you use like a normal size paper or canvas, so I don't know what the normal, I'm trying to think. Anything that's probably like a normal rectangle or square. So if you did 5,000 pixels by like 7,000 pixels, I'm sure these would work fine. Or even smaller, like 2,000 pixels by 5,000. Whatever, those would work with that. But because of that really long, skinny one, it's not going to work as well. And then you have your little faces. They have a lot of stuff in here that's free. And they have a lot of stuff here that's not free. Well, yeah, that is Clip Studio Paint. And probably the program I recommend the most. But if you don't have $50 or $219, Krita is a good free alternative. You'll just be putting in more work than if you use Clip Studio. What else? Oh, over here. Your speech balloons. You can build them. And then let's say you need the tail. Boom. You don't have to do all that work you did in Krita, where, like, let's say in Krita, you go like this, you pick your circle, and then you got it. Okay. And then you draw, but then you have to erase. You don't have to do that with this program. You can literally go to the balloon button over here, make your balloon, put your tail, oops, wrong tail, and boom, there it is. You can pick what other color you want. Let's say I want white. Okay, I got white. Alright. And then I want a white tail. Boom, there it is. Took what? Not even 2 seconds? The other great thing. Whoops, Clip Studio. Whoopsies. You can even adjust the points. Like, this thing is awesome. Boom. Okay, I'm gonna close this. I think I've covered everything. Okay, do not save. Now, next one, Corel Painter. Here, Corel Painter. Sometimes Corel Painter gets stupid in the way where, like, let's say you're drawing on it, and then you leave your computer for like 10 minutes and your computer goes onto sleep mode. And then, you know, you try to go back in there. Sometimes it just gets really finicky in the way, like, let's say you'll click on your canvas and your right side, I don't know, tools with your color wheel and all that stuff, and your layers disappears. So then you have to, you know, force quit and reopen it. It's a pain in the ass. Like I just had to do now. It wouldn't even let me go back in there. So I had to force close it and I got to reopen it. But again, I'm using 2019, not 2020. And I feel like they do that on purpose to make you download the more expensive one. And I will say they do have really cool brushes that Clip Studio Paint does not have. It only when it's like that I will switch in between and use some of the stuff on Corel on, you know, the Clip Studio Paint, or, you know, vice versa. See, look, if I get the upgrade, it's $148. That's crazy. They do offer learning tools though. I will say that. It's pretty neat. And tutorials and stuff. I wonder if they have the brushes. Ooh, look. They have different brush packs that you can get. And they're like $24.99 each. So that's kind of expensive. Alright, so doing comics in Corel Painter. So again, you're going to go in your new, and that's already set up for 800 by 1280. I always go longer typically because you can do a bunch in one shot, especially like if you do the auto color, because by the way, Clip Studio Paint does offer that as well. It's awesome, and it works pretty much identically to the Krita one. It's just different buttons that you hit instead. But it's literally the same method on how to do it. So you would have to duplicate your line art. Yeah. And then you'll pick your colors, go over it with a dot or two of a color you want, and then hit the auto color, and boom, there it is. So, okay. Now we're in Corel Painter, and I don't think they have templates. Open template. So, okay, they do, but you can't really see them. So let me try something. Canvas, okay, Canvas preset. They don't give you a bunch of options here, really. So yeah, we're not even gonna go through it. So, like in Krita, you can make your boxes. Okay, that's a fill box. I didn't want that box. Okay, here we go. I think it's this one. You can do your lines. And I'm white, so you ain't gonna see that. Ooh, that's too thick. You can make your lines like that, like in the other programs. And then I'm trying to find... And again, I haven't used this program in so long. So I'm trying to remember where everything is. I swear to God it was this one. Getting frustrated. Oh, wait. That's the problem. Okay. That's because I have it on white. So it is this. Okay, I was right. So yeah, it is a square tool or circle. Whatever you want. Just make sure your line color is visible and not white. So this is the line color, this is the fill color. And in here, you'd have to do the speech bubbles the same way. And then you would go like this. And then you would have to, woo, big eraser. Like take this part out. Well, I'm in a different, god damn. I'm in the rectangular. Why isn't it letting me erase it? Alright, hold up. I'm confusing myself, you guys. It's what I'm good at. Yeah, so when you use the square or whatever circle, it's going to make you do a new layer. And then let's say you wanted to draw on it. Okay. And then you got to erase this line. But you can't. There you go. Sometimes it just lags too. And then you can do it like this. Or again, you can draw it. However you want. And fill it in if you want your characters to have their own colored box. But yeah, that is how you do it on Corel Painter, and it kind of sucks. Kind of like Krita. To be honest, Clip Studio Paint's the way to go. Alright, I'm going to close this. Not saving that. Okay, let's go over here for a second. New. Let's compare and contrast. Okay. So let's go 2000 by 2000. Real quick. This is what I was looking for. Oh, we're on white. Hold up. Whoa. I have so many programs at once on. That is kind of freezing on me. Whatever. This is like a Venn diagram. Okay. So we'll do Krita. Clip. Studio. Paint. And then down here we'll do Corel. So, like I was saying, Pro to Krita, it is free. Sometimes you have lagging errors, but that's to be expected. I mean, what do you expect? They made it for free, so I mean, they're kind of limited on some things. I'm trying to think what else. What's something that Krita has that these guys don't? I think they have the same stuff. So one thing they all have in common. No, wait. Yeah. They all have the auto color. Clip Studio Paint and Krita. Let's see. They also have comic templates. $50 to $219 for X, for Pro. Okay. Now Corel Painter, let's say you don't have it at all and you have to buy the whole thing. Depending on which one you get, you could be paying for $400 or plus. And you would need upgrade every other year, which equals $200 roughly. Christmas and Black Friday times, you know, they have deals and whatnot. I mean, good, not great. One-time payment for Clip Studio. Okay. These guys have animation features. Clip Studio, speech, bubble, templates. Options, and that's for everything, the bubbles and the comic itself. Some templates, not for speech though. Okay. Let's see what else. I'm trying to think of other, I don't know, I'm trying to help you guys decide which one would suit you better, especially if you're there for comics. Better brush selection. I will give that props. Free brush options. Now, Corel, I don't think there are any free options. Not really. We'll say here. Oh wait, no. Brushes not free for Corel. Get rid of this window. I'm trying to think what else. There's so many things. Like, look at all these brushes I have over here. I have a bajillion of them. And most of them are free. What else? I'm trying to think comic-wise and not, like, as a whole. I mean, Corel Painter... I don't think Corel Painter is very comic friendly. I used to use that because that was the only program I had, and it literally took me a month to get 20 panels in, fully colored. Where Clip Studio Paint in Krita probably took about 2 weeks. So I think I'm gonna stop the compare and contrasting here. So the best feature that Krita has is it's free. There we go. And you can pretty much do all the same things in each program. It's just whether or not you can do it faster in certain programs. The thing I like about Studio Paint, the Clip Studio Paint, is the variety. As for Corel Painter, I wouldn't say it's very comic friendly. It's really not. So it's really between these two, in my opinion. You can do whatever you want. So yeah. Sorry this video was super duper long. I just wanted to make sure it was, you know, informational in the terms of, like, I could answer your comic questions, I guess. So yeah, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you know, please leave them down below. And I will pretty much answer whatever you have to say or ask or whatever. It's not like I'm doing much these days anyway with the virus going around. So yeah. Thank you guys for watching this video. Hopefully, I answered some questions. But yeah. Peace out.